So I think that the current laws on freedom of speech should stay the same as they were when the founding fathers created them, because it's a fundamental aspect of what this nation kind of stood on, which was the ability to speak about anything at any time, because we didn't want real laws kind of restricting what we want to say or what we want to think, because a open market of expression is kind of the most important thing that exists within our nation.
I think it could use some amendment. I think it's still adaptable to today. When these laws were written down, speech was never this thing where anyone had the power to say anything without like immediate consequence, and not only say it, but it's posted, it's documented, and it's documented basically forever somewhere. I don't know if that's something they could have seen coming, but just the fact that it's there and millions of people can witness it immediately, there was never anything like that. So I think I really don't know how to go about it necessarily, but I think it could use more steps.
Yeah, I think what they said is adaptable. I don't think that the newer technology should change that specific law, the First Amendment. I mean, it's a pretty basic law, freedom of speech, freedom of religion. I don't think that should be altered in any way or form.
I think it would be really bad for them to come in. It would be, again, restricting that fundamental aspect of what this nation stands for, which is freedom. And specifically, I think freedom of speech is what creates that freedom. If we weren't allowed to express anything that we want to express, then we aren't free. We're just living under another very overbearing kind of rule.
We need to, I think it's really important, like really soon, to separate truth from opinion with all the transgender stuff, and like if the law is going to speak about a person biologically or just what they identify as. And so then when we get to that point, if we're going to deal with law and what a person identifies as, where does that end, and where do we find the hard line? I wouldn't necessarily want to see that move into America, although I do think I could see a little more like hate speech restriction, racism, even just like bullying and stuff kind of in general. I could see a little bit, because even though it is opinion, and I think everybody is entitled to their opinion, we do have like hard evidence of it affecting people. If at all, any of the stuff that's going on in the UK and Canada, really not too much.
A lot of times people think the only way we can control speech is through the government controlling it, but a lot of things too is like, while people have the freedom of speech to say something negative or like hurtful to like other people, like especially as far as like, this is mostly in regards to like hate speech and why people like want to remove it. But the thing is you can't really, it's something that's always been with people, so you can't just completely remove it from the internet with just somehow. So yeah, you have the freedom to say like evil things, but also everybody has the freedom to speak out against those people. So like, more socially you can fight those issues, like if you really think you have a problem with the way certain people talk.
Yeah, maybe it should be a little bit restricted on social media platforms, because there's not as much nuance in conversation in social media platforms. There's a lot more in direct conversation, so it could be that thoughts will be lost in translation. And so I think it could use some restriction at the discretion of the social media platform itself.
I could see them doing that, and I wouldn't be too against it. Like the whole thing with the flat Earth movement, I could see it as like maybe they're allowed to keep their page, but there could be some sort of official thing where Facebook goes and they mark the page and they say, like, the things posted on this are not based in fact. So it's like they're allowed to post whatever they want, but maybe a kid who stumbles upon it or somebody that doesn't have the knowledge, they at least I don't know, they're told with the whole the cyberbullying and stuff. It'd be really hard, like we were just talking about. It's so hard, like, to tighten up on just like a comment, like a single racist comment, a single mean comment, because of how many people are on it. Because if you do it by keyword, like if you're gonna say like a certain racist word and you're gonna go to it, there's probably gonna be like more than half the time where it was a joke or it was just like sarcasm. So like what, you're gonna take everyone off Facebook that used a certain word you key searched?
Yeah, like as long as there's at least like one place where everybody can say whatever they want, I think like there's like some hope. That's the other thing too, is not just that like Facebook can remove people for like what they've said on Facebook and stuff, but I feel like that should kind of be the extent of the punishments most of the time, because a lot of times it's like once people see like one joke somebody made, it's like they shouldn't be able to have a job, and it's like, well, you know, you can start out small.
You know, like especially kids bully. That's just what they do. You go to any school and kids bully.
Yeah, it's been that way.
And they don't understand the outcome of their actions because they just think, oh, it's funny, you know, this is great.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, you get trauma afterwards. You get anxiety, depression due to childhood bullying. And I think if the government can somehow limit that in social media or through technology, especially gaming, you know, it's huge in gaming that, you know, you target people. If that can be limited, I think that would be great.